It's the Broken Brawler, Casey Blackrose here, and you're listening to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast After Dark on a Friday night.
Dark.
Oh, yeah.
I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
It's After Dark, so we get to talk all about La Rosa Negra. Hi, guys.
And we got Mike.
I threw Mike off! Yes! I did it!
I'm Big Mike, and we are going down the train tracks here in 2023. Me and Tommy got a lot to talk about with Hybrid Mania 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got me, Tommy.
Yeah.
I did get you,
nice.
but we do legit have a lot to talk about with Hybrid.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we legit have a lot to talk about La Rosa Negra, but either way.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can talk about her all we can.
I know you can.
Tommy's going to not talk about her, right? So,
Yeah.
first off, a belated happy Star Wars Day to everyone out there. Yes, the show would have been last night Star Wars Day, but stuff happened. Feliz Cinco de Mayo for those that are celebrating, and then if you're not too drunk to watch this, we do appreciate it. And if you are drunk, have fun in the chat. Let's just see what the hell happens.
I'm almost scared now that you said that. Holy crap.
We're going to talk a bit about Hybrid Mania, of course, as well. We'll mention a bit about that, talk about this weekend's BOW show, and, of course, preview WWE Backlash, which, quite frankly, has been promoted in the last few weeks a lot better than WrestleMania was, surprisingly, with the whole press conference and everything.
I will say that the
Yeah.
crowd tonight, from the clips I saw of SmackDown, they should go to Puerto Rico more often.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, this show is already miles better than last year's because it's literally just called Backlash.
Yes.
And
You
nothing else.
Jesus!
There it is.
Sorry.
There it is.
Sorry.
Yep. How amazing is that? So, but let's go ahead and jump right in first with a little bit of wrestling news. Now, of course, on the WWE side of things, the biggest thing has been the draft.
Oh God, Cedric's here.
There
Son
we
of
go.
a-
Cedric's here, drunk off his ass. apparently.
Cinco
Oh,
de
maybe
Mayo,
not.
buddy. It better be tequila.
Yep. The drafts. It's
yeah,
WWE's way of trying to compete with the NFL draft, I guess. Although the NFL draft was pretty crazy with a whole bunch of trades and everything else going on. But WWE's draft, we talked a bit about it last week with the whole creation of the World Heavyweight Championship again, which is basically the big gold belt with this big ass W on it. But any surprise moves or anything that sticks out at you from the draft? Something that maybe some roster move or something like that you're excited for?
Well, I don't know if they're excited, surprised. I was a little surprised. I really thought with the storyline they were doing, they were going to split up Roman Solo and the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, after WrestleMania and not, finishing Cody's story, I was interested to see where the rest of the Bloodline storyline went. And I thought they were going to split them up for a little bit and give it a break. But no, in the end, even though the Usos lost that chance to get the tag belts back, they're on the same show. So I guess it's going to be Roman being mean to them and treating them like crap for a while and see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
I was assuming they were just gonna. I'm assuming whatever happens tomorrow at Backlash is gonna make all the difference with them. So
Yeah, it's true.
Cedric, of course, the draft was pointless. NXT pickups.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
NXT pickups.
Let me kind of go down the line here on those. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn go from NXT to SmackDown. Indy Hartwell from NXT to Raw. Supplemental from Night 1. Apollo Crews goes to Raw from NXT. JD McDonough goes from NXT to Raw. Zoe Stark from NXT to Raw. And let's see here. Pretty Deadly went from NXT to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Katana Chance and Kaden Carter went from NXT to Raw. Cameron Grimes went from NXT to SmackDown. Those were on night 2, by the way. Supplemental to night 2, you had Grayson Waller going from NXT to SmackDown. Indus Sher, which Jinder Mahal, Sangha, and Veer Mahan, did I pronounce that right? From NXT to Raw, and then of course Odyssey Jones from NXT to Raw. I was a little surprised Roxanne Perez not getting the call up or the call over to Raw or SmackDown, but oh wait, was there anything else? No. Okay. Okay, here we go. And then just a couple of other ones here that are considered free agents that are also still NXT tied. Yeah, Von Wagner and Sion Quinn. They're basically one of the select available.
They can go to both shows basically.
They can go to both shows, but they're also on NXT as well. So
okay.
Yeah.
Here was the weird thing because there was also a couple from the first night of free agents, which was like Dolph Ziggler, a couple of the people. So Brock Lesnar on SmackDown, they came out and said he negotiated his contract. He's going to be a free agent. He can show up wherever he wants. And I get that because whatever, it's Brock Lesnar. But the other ones, they made such a big deal about this draft and going back to like being stuck on their sides. Then you like on the supplemental, like, oh, and these guys, they can go wherever they want. It literally feels like creative has nothing for you.
Yeah.
But we had to say something. And look, I love Dolph Ziggler. You know, you can plug him in anywhere, and he's gonna put on great matches, and he'll be entertaining. But it almost seems like an insult. But I don't know.
Yeah, those wrestlers that are free agents: Baron Corbin, Brock Lesnar, as you mentioned, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, Osmosis, and MVP together, and then of course Von Wagner and Sion Quinn. So
I also heard someone say like, whenever they just need like recognizable jobbers, they can just send them to any show. Like they're not literally like local talent, but you know you expect them to lose when they show up. It's like, oh
yeah. So
yeah, that's exactly
that's
exactly what Cedric says.
Yep.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So
right on the same page there, buddy.
Now it is kind of cool though. Obviously, I saw Mike's hands go up when I mentioned Indy Hartwell. Part of night 1 supplemental draft, Dexter Lumis also staying on Raw, so continuing that story. And the way they kind of course, Indy has had the NXT Women's Championship. Yes, this is the way.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
How with her relinquishing the title due to injury, but also going to Raw, and then just Dexter carrying her off. Anybody else, that little freeze frame they put up of her giving the thumbs up back to the camera, anyone else think of like, don't you forget it? You know? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It was a 80s rom-com love story ending.
That, hell, it could have been a Mentos commercial for all I know, the way she had the thumbs up.
Dang it, I was going to say that, you beat me to it. Shit. I had that joke ready. Crap.
Believe me, if I had time, I would have made those videos. But anyway, yeah.
The biggest thing me and Tommy were talking about for the second night of the draft was like they better keep Gargano and
that's all
of them and Dexter. They better keep them all together on Raw. And luckily, they did.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting that they continue that now that they're all together. If they really build on this, like if Triple H has a bit more creative control that we think, unless Vince gets on his ass for one night,
someone just like mess up his internet at wherever he's at now at his house. Just like,
nice,
sorry, the Wi-Fi's down. You can't.
Yeah, sorry.
Every Monday and Friday, just unplug, just turn the power off at his house for 3 hours and pop it right back on when it's over.
That'd be nice.
Never mind.
So yeah, that's where the draft is now. We're going back to Raw, SmackDown separate. And you know, we mentioned, of course, the World Heavyweight Championship coming back. That's been exclusive. That'll be crowned at Night of Champions. Now, of course, one of the people, you know, there was obviously some pool of wrestlers that were not selected in the draft due to injury or otherwise not taken care of. Carmella announced, and we were wondering why she had been off TV for a while. Announced that she is pregnant, and the posts have been pretty awesome. The reveal to her stepchildren has been pretty cool too. Yeah. So
damn you, Corey Graves. Damn you all the way. Okay.
That list just keeps getting longer and longer, man.
It does, man.
It does,
Him,
doesn't it,
the
right?
Miz, yeah.
Um,
I kind of agree with that.
But also, she legitimately got injured.
This is true too.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if it was always a plan to draft her, or they figured since she wouldn't be able to defend the title for a little bit, might as well. So I don't know, but it was a feel good moment, and it was kind of like you deserved it.
Yeah.
And I
Terry.
really, hey Terry, what's up, man? I really feel like when it comes into this draft stuff, they don't know what the hell they're doing until they get to like a week before, because they don't know where the creative plans are. They don't know what there's going on.
Speaking of which, I heard, I don't know if it was confirmed that NXT talent didn't know they were being called up when they were showing them at the Performance Center. So
whoa,
a lot of those
genuine reaction. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That typically happens though. Like they like every time whenever they do a draft, whenever they do NXT, they're usually legitimately. It's late. Surprised when that happens. So,
because I remember in the early years when they used to do those behind the scene things for NXT, they showed like, who was it, Bailey or Sasha Bailey, like when the Four Horsewomen were getting a call up or something. Remember they showed in that auditorium seating they have, like class.
Right.
They showed some of those, but yeah, I think more recently, and especially when they come back to this draft, they're just like, oh, by the way, you're on the road now. Move out of Orlando.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, another bit of wrestling news. This one coming from the AEW side of things. Their all-in ticket sales took off, and to date, they've already sold 60,000 tickets.
Be petty, Tommy. Be petty. I know you want to.
Oh, thank you. Because the pettiness has been boiling up for a while. Because AEW haters said they'll never sell enough tickets. They'll never have enough. They got that whole building, and they'll never even get 30,000 in there. They're never gonna have wrestling again. And every one of you can suck it. All of you AEW haters can suck it. I told my mom this because even she couldn't believe it. Because she even asked me, "Have they even announced who's gonna be there?" I said no. No, there is no card. There's no even guaranteed talent. Everyone just knows there's going to be wrestling in Wembley, and they've already made $6 million off of it.
And one of the little things that amused me about this whole situation was out of nowhere on SmackDown, Eric Bischoff was, or last week, or on Monday, I guess it was on Monday. I keep saying SmackDown. On the second night on Monday was one of the presenters for draft picks. And then this stuff comes out, and people were like, WCW's biggest thing was the Georgia Dome, the Goldberg versus Hogan.
Yep.
And it was like 40,000, something like that.
Yep.
AEW beat that with its first day pre-sale, super exclusive group, whatever it was. And, then they released more tickets today. Like you said, they announced now it's up to 60,000. And supposedly it is set up for like a full 85 to 90,000.
Yeah.
And we've got tons of time.
Yeah. So the one guy I follow on Facebook, and I think he's on Twitter, he talks about wrestling news and stuff. He talked about how hard it was, first of all, to even get on the site to buy the ticket. Yeah. He said it took him forever just to log in. And then he said, they have a digital not like a digital picture of where your seating area is, and he already has like his seat picked out of where he's sitting. This is legit happening, people. People already know where they'll be sitting when this event happens, and we're still like 4 months out, 3 months out. Sorry.
I mean, like I said when they announced this isn't just going to be England, UK. This is going to be Europe that's going to get on this, and that I'm not surprised by this. The crazy part is this, of course, does break the record for the largest gate in English history, which was last held by WWE SummerSlam 1992 at the old Wembley Stadium. So it broke that record.
Jeez.
And
what was that at?
It doesn't.
Because I could have sworn that was close to 80.
Yeah.
I thought I remember, but they're not. Well, it can break it if they sell out, which we expect them to, right? But
Yeah,
it hasn't
Yeah,
well,
officially yet?
it's the gate. I guess that's
The
like,
amount of
yeah,
money
the
they
gate.
made.
Yeah, the gate. So
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know the
Membership.
attendance. I need to double check what that is,
I
but
want to say Wembley was like an 80 something.
I thought it
I
was 80
mean,
or 90.
could happen.
For
You
Wembley.
know,
No, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they've said they've set up for full capacity of the entire place. So, and again, that's in August. We still have months.
Yeah, and
Yes, understand
I'll even put it this way: if you look at some of the non WWE shows in history, like everyone always looks at like WCW for prime example. WCW's most tickets ever sold for an event was 36,000. AEW just shattered that. So
Jeez.
yeah, so and I want to I don't recall, but I want to say like Bischoff has said a thing or two about AEW in the past.
Yeah, he talks trash on them. Even though
Yeah,
he
that,
does.
that's got to eat him alive. You say all you want of AEW,
Yeah.
they outsold every show you ever did with WCW. So
Yep.
Think how Vince Russo must feel.
yeah,
bro, what are you talking about, bro?
yeah. This just amazing. 60,000 already. We're less than a week into the ticket sales for it. As of let's see, the number 7.7 million US dollars as of May 5th.
Oh God,
Today.
That's
As
more.
of
That's
this
more than I
afternoon.
thought. That's more than I saw when I told my mom this morning.
Yeah.
But it was still 6.5 million.
And then,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Cedric just confirmed the chat. It was over 80,000 for SummerSlam '92. But I can't get over the fact that not only have they probably are they probably gonna start turning people away at this point. It's like, but like you said, you're right, because in Europe, their train systems and stuff, you're gonna have people coming from all over Western Europe, just Western Europe, to see the show. It's gonna be insane in that building.
And I bet even coming from other countries, they won't have to drive 17 hours like our buddy Clint from Mission Pro last weekend.
No,
That dude needs another round of applause.
That dude's dedicated.
yeah, very dedicated. Yeah, Europe is smaller than the U.S. I think from size.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the majority of the countries that were going to make it to the western side.
A lot of the countries driving to England or even to the Channel and everything, that's about the same distance as literally anywhere in Texas to any other place.
Driving through Texas.
So I think like guys made that joke. It's like driving through Texas. She traveled through 4 countries in Europe by the time it took her from one end of Texas to the other.
I believe it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see where that ends up.
Okay.
Any other wrestling news we might have missed?
Yeah. So there's a little thing that's kind of connected to this because of what could happen. So there's been more news about AEW's new show, Collision, which is going to air.
Yes, that's right.
June on Saturday, June 16th or something, 17th, whatever that Saturday is. So 17th. There was talk originally 17th of having hard roster splits, basically like what WWE does for the two brands. So basically, Dynamite versus Collision. Mm-hmm. Apparently, recently there's been a little pullback on that. It does still seem that Collision is going to be Punk's show. The Elite's going to be on Dynamite. And then if they ever need Punk on Dynamite, they would basically switch that week so they stay away. That seems to be the news that's coming out recently. Connecting back to the show at Wembley, you need Punk and FTR versus the Elite. Saraya came out herself and said, because someone asked her, she was on doing an interview, look, there's lots of people in the past I haven't liked personally, but you better learn to find a common ground professionally and do the business, because that's what's best for everybody. And again, so we've heard nothing specific. It's all been rumors and hearsay. But the idea that they haven't met yet, that the Elite don't want anything to do with Punk, suck it up for one night in front of 90,000 people. Because also, it's the Young Bucks. They're never going to let anybody forget that they helped put 90,000 people in Wembley. Nope. And granted, they shouldn't. So do the right thing. Let's get that match going. Saying it right now.
And
put Will Ospreay on the show somewhere. I don't care where. Put him on the show.
Lock him in a room till they figure it all out, right? I mean, because it's not just that night, though. That's the thing. If you're going to build this up, you can't have them taking pot shots at each other on different shows each week. At some point, you got to get them getting involved with each other's matches face to face. really build this up because potentially this could be the main event, right? If you book FTR and Punk versus the Elite, whether there's a title on the line or not, this could be probably one of the last matches of the night. So, but yeah, you're right. How many times have we seen it? Two guys that just don't get along personally make magic professionally and can
Shawn
do that.
Michaels and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry. Ugh.
Yeah,
Allergies,
that's
man.
a big one right
Allergies.
there. So,
Shawn Michaels and
a
everyone in the 90s.
yeah.
All right.
Except Triple
You're
H.
not wrong. Triple H and everyone in the early 2000s. Oh.
Yeah, so Masada
Vince and everyone now.
Yeah, so it's all in. If they book it right, if that's where they need to go with it,
You
and
know-
I really hope that's where they go with it. That's
I
going to
do.
be amazing.
That's-
Yeah.
You know, I just thought of something. I remember when Impact did a tour of the, because I saw Cedric's comment and it reminded me of that. When Impact did a tour of the UK, every show sold out. Like,
Oh, and
They
it's
were-
still big there.
yeah,
It's huge,
that's what I'm saying. They weren't in big stadiums or nothing. Well, they were in like decent sized stadiums, but they were selling out every show. It's like, and that's why I'm glad this is happening. But I also sometimes don't get it. It's like, I guess the production value must be really high to get everything over there across the pond. But the crowd show up, man. They want to see it. I just don't always get it, man. I mean, because I remember hearing years ago, Tony Khan said in an interview he was working on this, but then of course COVID happened, and of course literally everything stopped. So sorry,
And
Mike,
also, on like to piggyback that, don't forget NXT UK was literally made because the UK scene
100%.
and the Europe scene was so hot, and WWE's like, well, why don't we go and just take all those and make it ours? And then they screwed it up because they didn't actually care about it, but that's another story.
Well, and COVID might have killed it a bit too. It was hard. They had some stricter restrictions.
You're not wrong, but even before that, they weren't giving it what it needed or deserved. Or, that's because Vince,
which was sad because those were some of the best matches WWE was having in years. I still remember Pete Dunne and was it Joe Coffey?
Mm-hmm.
And that,
and do you remember Walter's debut?
Yes, and that freaking
after the match.
That whole like 30-minute stretch from the moment of their entrances to the end of the show was one of the greatest moments in WWE history. And as much as I will rag on them for whatever stuff, that booking for that was perfect, and it was like picture perfect. So
remember they did
UK was great, man. Yeah,
they did Finn Balor versus JD McDon't Google Me when he was Jordan Devlin's. That
I don't know why that's still funny to me, but it's still hilarious.
It is, and Kevin Owens God, just points to you on that one.
That's why he deserves to be main event with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania Night 1 because of moments like that.
All right, let's then move into what's coming up locally here. Now, before I should say, Tommy, I think you and Mike both attended Hybrid Mania. Yes, and give us a rundown, man. What was it about this event that had you guys talking so much about it?
So first of all, shout out to Terry, who was ring announcing and gave us a shout out, gave the WrestleCast a shout out.
Appreciate that, Terry.
Yeah, we told you we were going to talk about it. It was only 6 matches, and it's in their little. You've been there. It's been a while, I know, but you've been inside the hybrid place. There's not a lot of room, but they pack in what they can. And it started off with WrestleCast interviewee Jesse James versus Troy Markham. And by the way, we've mentioned this before, but Jesse James has legit titles from tournaments in jiu-jitsu and grappling. So he came out with his NAGA belt, which is North American Grappling Association, which he had won the previous week in Austin, won the tournament there. So legit that. It was a really cool way they started because they had their match. They had a good match. Jesse James wins with the tap out. And then Stud Stash shows up again to continue the attack from RCW stuff because, again, hybrid RCW in the same multiverse universe of things there. And that's important because later on, more multiverse stuff that screws with our head happens. But anyways, and then Stud Stash had a match. And so as he's beating him down, his opponent, Vic Endurance, comes down and they literally just jumped right into the second match. So a good way to kind of kick the pace up and get the action going. So they had a good match. Was there another match before the playground or the women was after that?
No, the playground was after this.
Yeah. So it was the 6-man next, right?
I think it was the playground
so.
match next. Then they had a space because it was a 6-man.
Okay.
I think the playground match happened next. Then the intermission. Then the 6-man. Then the women's match. Then the tag title match.
Okay, but we need to talk about this playground match.
Yeah, we do.
First of all, when we last did the show, I think it had just been announced like that Wednesday or that Tuesday. It was a Playgrounds Rule match. We were like, okay, that sounds weird. Then on Friday, so you remember also last Friday was when the storms came through San Antonio and most of the middle of San Antonio got blasted with this thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I don't know if they filmed this right before the storms hit, but they literally had David Kidd and Eric Walker on a playground set, like walking up the plastic things in the middle of this jungle gym thing, talking about, we're going to do this playground rules or whatever. And the reason I mentioned the storms is because in the background, it looks like the shit's about to hit the fan weather-wise. And then they walk off in opposite directions and each exit on a slide, which was – is JC frozen?
I think JC's frozen. Yeah, he's frozen.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're
I
still
was like,
alive.
JC, why are you selling this? This was amazing. No.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But so they shot this promo on a literal playground. They go off on slides. And then they have the match. So, Tommy, before the match even starts, what do they do?
Okay. Before the match even starts, they come out in like some of the preppiest attire, and this is me saying this went to a private school, that I've ever seen, with backpacks. And I'm just like, what's happening right now?
What was also put in the ring? Yeah, what was put in the ring?
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that part. The hybrid students put 2 Fisher-Price slides in the ring first.
Plastic?
And plastic Fisher-Price slide. And I was like, what are we doing right now? And I immediately, I cringed for a second. And as a man, I admit, I was wrong for the cringe. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I didn't know what I was talking about.
And here's the thing. And again, this is all the credit to Hybrid, to Marvel, to Funaki, to all the people that trained there. David Kidd and Eric Walker went totally into it. There was no hesitation in anything of their character that they did. They said, we're doing a Playground Rules match where we're going to pretend we're big kids. And they sold it, and the crowd loved it. They did the you got a stain on your shirt, gotcha thing. They did, I'm sorry if this sounds a little politically incorrect, but this is what we called it as kids. They did Indian burn on the arm. One of them, Tommy said they come out with backpacks and preppy clothes. One of them pulls a basketball out of their backpack and jumps and just throws it at the back of the other head. Later in the match, the other one pulls out a football, throws it at the back of the other person's head. Then they start utilizing the slides.
Wait, you're missing one key moment.
Oh, which other one did I miss?
The arm wrestling.
Oh, yes. I know some people put pictures of this online. They got down in the middle of the ring and arm wrestled. Now, they're kids, so they didn't know to go over the top, but they were still arm wrestling in the middle of the ring. I think they both won at different times, right?
No, that was like no, because the referee was legitimately counting and was, I guess, if she had got to 3, one of them would have won the match. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and
the snack break.
That's right. There was a snack break with Juice. Was it Go-Gurt and Juices? Or
Yes.
What was it?
It was Go-Gurt and something else because the referee actually yelled snack break. The students came out to help them take a snack break, and she counted to 10. And when she got to 10, the students left, and the match continued. And I immediately thought to myself, wrestling needs more snack breaks. And I do not know why that was the first thought that occurred to me. Oh, by the way, the ring bell was a school bell.
That's right.
Nice.
They didn't ring a bell. They didn't ring the normal bell. They rang a school bell.
And I almost died from laughing the second I heard that. Because I said, "What the hell was that?" And Josh, who's the head of the media team, just looked at me and just said, and I was like, "You," and all I could think was, "You brilliant bastard."
Now I have to ask this though: with the school bell mic, did you start getting get in the hallway and try and direct everybody to go to their classes?
You know what?
You know?
I literally had to say out loud, I'm not sure I can condone what's being done in this ring. Like, I would have to break these things up, right? But also, a small part of me was thinking Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 2, the school. Like, that's how you start every run on that with the school bell.
Oh, I missed that game. That was one of my favorite games. I almost thought I was going to be a pro skateboarder because of that game. I quickly found out I would not. But
that's the only reason.
You can't exactly just handle a balance on a controller, right? You
No,
know?
not at all.
Only reason
don't worry. Don't worry. That dream was quickly dashed. Let me reassure you.
But yeah, like it had no reason to be as fun and entertaining as it was. And I'm pretty sure Tommy said that day or that evening that it supplanted Joe Kobashi, or who as his favorite match of all time.
I didn't say it supplemented it. I said it ranked closer to it than it reasonably should have.
But yeah, like no, it was ridiculous. It was entertaining. He ended. David Kidd got the win with a. What is it called? The white noise or what? I mean,
the official name is Air Raid Crash, but
there you go, the Air Raid Crash,
white noise, beach break. It's got the same name.
Yeah, through the. So I was honestly a little bit worried that like the plastic slide was gonna like crack and like slice their back, because it's like plastic, but it just flattened. It just flattened and they pinned him.
But they treated it like it was the most thumbtacks that had ever been seen in the ring ever. It was an on fire table in ECW. That's how they treated that spot, and it made, and I'm not kidding here, too much sense. it worked too well because the fact that we're still talking about it just proves how good that match was.
Yes, and. That was like that was halfway through the show.
Yeah.
Right? So now we got to talk about some stuff that once again messes with the multiverse of San Antonio wrestling. And I don't even know where to go now. Because Tommy, let's take it back to a week before at Edge of Glory, right? We talked about how the Men's Revolution was getting in the middle of anything. JC, with his wise is convinced now that they're going to win every title and take everything the rest of the year.
The belt collector.
And Thunder Rosa had to come out, call them children, make the match because they keep interfering and cheating this whole time. Now, what happens when we come back from intermission?
You sound like a Yankee fan.
Oh my God, JC.
Oh, by the way, there's another connection that involves you. I don't know if you check your regular Twitter anymore.
I did see it. I agree. Yeah, I'm sitting there in the waitings like the racial draft, just biding my time kind of thing.
I did a first round of a draft for us. If you haven't seen it, y'all can check my Twitter. I feel like it made sense. I drafted Jasmine Allure. Tommy drafted La Rosa Negra. And I assumed JC was going to draft JP Harlow.
Yeah.
Because he seems to really love JP, having never seen him or met him or anything, just knowing he wore an Astros jersey.
I don't need to know he's badass. That's it. So I've seen enough on videos. And
Which, by the way, me and Tommy also had this conversation because I don't know if you saw JP's reply to my tweet about the draft. And he said, do you mind if I give your actual Twitter handle, your normal one?
Yeah, you can. That's fine. Yeah, Squints84. Yeah.
So he said, Squints84 is the only real man around here. Those other two are mouth-breathing virgins.
Yeah, let me find the exact quote. Hang on a second here. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
And so the reason I bring that up is because I actually confronted him about that after the show, but there was other things to talk about. Because in the next match, coming back to Hybrid, there was a 6-person tag match. It was the Texas Treats and Diego Rene, who is a treat in training. So we told them to keep their little tit under control. Nice. And it was against H2Easy, which is JP Harlow and Hyder, being much more good guys than they are when they show up, or the variants show up at Mission Pro. and Jimmy Wang Yang, because of course,
Yeah.
why not Jimmy Wang Yang?
Why not?
And I showed this video at the last hybrid show I went to, but the H2 like to, I swear to God, the first time they called it Freebird, right? Which is what the Fabulous Freebirds used to do when they came out to the ring, and they do this thing with their hands and they dance around the ring. Here's the thing. Are we allowed to say this, Tommy? I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but it happened and it's on video. So it's out there. Thunder Rosa showed up at the hybrid show. She was there, right? So we're like, oh, that's cool. Said hi to her. I'm just saying, and maybe because it's the variant who shows up on AEW Access when they show Thunder Rosa going back to train with Maddie and Harlow. But they got Thunder Rosa and her son to freebird around the ring with them. And now I am more confused about anything in San Antonio wrestling than I've ever been. Because I'm pretty sure when we're at Mission Pro, Men's Revolution is evil and she's tired of the crap they're pulling. And then she's freebirding around the ring at a hybrid show. There may be a variant Thunder Rosa as well. I don't know at this point. I'm pretty sure next week I'm going to have red yarn and a whole bunch of things pinned behind me as I try to unravel this conspiracy. Or I might go insane. I'm not sure at this point. But that happened. And the good guys won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they're the good guys.
Well, the variants of San Antonio wrestling. This is the real multiverse. I feel like I was going to be really mean to name one promoter, but I'm not going to do it. Is going to get the Infinity Gauntlet and just snap all of us that he can, so he can have the soul.
But it doesn't matter. It'll still start 20 minutes after it said it was going to start.
Damn it, you knew what I was talking about. Anyway,
how can you not? So it's.
We all know who would be Thanos in this thing. But anyways.
Yeah. So.
And then, they had a good 6-way match in all seriousness. And then we had the women's 3-way match, which was Gia Michelle, who is the champion hybrid, Key Vibes, who is the RCW women's champ, and then Jimmy Wang Yang's daughter, which I didn't know until Tommy told me, Jazzy Yang.
Yeah.
And they apparently, with Thunder Rosa in attendance, said, oh, yeah, we heard about Mission Personal Wrestling. Let's slap and beat the crap out of each other as we fight.
Now, Key Vibes and Gia Michelle kind of had that going already, so I'll admit that was already there. Jazzy Yang though took that advice though and said, "Oh yeah, there's Thunder Rosa, Mission Personal Wrestling. I hate both of you for no reason whatsoever except that we were booked in this match."
It's like when you have that friend that like y'all are just constantly like picking on each other, hitting each other's shoulders, and that other friend comes up that doesn't know anything about it. It's like, I want to join in. Whack.
Yeah.
And you're like, she was just like, got no problem with that. No, but they put on a great match.
Which is how I imagine Keith Lee, Shane Taylor, and Ray Rowe all became friends.
Fair enough.
I love how there was no opposition to that point.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
And then the women's match ended in a weird. So Key Vibes pinned Jazzy Yang. Gia Michelle got on the top of Gia Michelle from behind.
Mm-hmm.
It was
counted 3, and somehow the ref, who's named after a street in San Antonio, Vance Jackson, because Key was the top person of the totem pole, even though 2 people were pinning, he gave her the win, and then Key Vibes chased her around the gym and to the back, and then when he came out later, we were like, hey, it's Key. She's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the fact that he was still in the building after that was kind of shocking. I was like, dude, she's from the South Side. She'll actually kill you.
So Gia Michelle is still the women's champion in hybrid. Key is still the champion in RCW. I'm pretty sure whichever show we're going to, they're not done with each other. And we're going to enjoy more of that.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be RCW next. Like, they do have a match coming up, I think, at RCW. I
probably do.
Yeah.
And then
the RCW is coming up
May 21st.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the main event was a ladder match between the Flock and Brawlers, who are both RCW and hybrid champions, and F&G, which is the Kai Living and the fashionista Devin Carter. And if you can go find this footage, because I hope they put it up,
I think.
Dear
No,
God.
they haven't yet. Not that no. Yeah.
Like, as people, as we've watched wrestling for a long time, we've seen classic ladder matches from, the early 2000s of WWE with the Hardys, the Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys. These guys just said, I know we're in a small gym. These are probably ladders we bought at Home Depot. F it, we're going to do it anyways. And
went for it.
they went all in. I really thought Zakai and Devin were going to pull this off because, first of all, their families were there. The entire crowd was behind them.
Yes.
And they were pulling off. I think it's clipped by some people, probably by Casey. They put Casey on a ladder, which was between the ropes, and so it was, off the ground, horizontal. Yeah. They had Casey laying on it. Zakai goes for a springboard moonsault, and his legs just hit Casey right in the face.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, I don't know if he's okay. Yeah, he was. I mean, relatively speaking, he continued on with the match. The Flocking Brawlers won, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just because Casey is a wrestling fan, and again, with the people I've interviewed so far, it's only been 3, but their love of wrestling really, I respect them a lot for how much they love it. This dude decided after pulling off the tag belts to do the Jeff Hardy fall from the top when you get the belt, and literally just falls off the ladder to get off of it.
I'm not convinced that wasn't by mistake, but I don't. He's crazy enough to do it on purpose too.
Oh no, he did that completely because he made a clip of it and says, "Who did it better, Jeff Hardy or him?"
He's such an idiot.
Anyway, but he's really damn good. And
yeah, I know.
He's a damn good idiot.
That's the worst part. Is like he's a really damn good.
But he's a damn good wrestler, and that guy is
yeah.
Really good. Also. Steady. That's going to be me. I just saw in the WrestleCast this little picture you sent. That's going to be me trying to figure out the multiverse of San Antonio wrestling. So, yeah. But no, it was a great show.
Yep.
What's up?
Sorry, hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it was an amazing show, and it was barely 2 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we got out, I think it's started at 5. We were out, or the show ended like a little before 7.
Yeah.
There we go. That's going to be me by next week.
Yeah.
Behind me, trying to figure out this multiverse.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it all begins with Jasmine Allure.
I mean, okay, actually, we kind of missed this in the news, but one last thing to connect back to Mission Pro. At the beginning of the week, Genocide comes out after having defended her title the last show, and talks some crap about Jasmine Allure, about how she turned her back on the women at the last show, and she better not do it again. And then, Jasmine was like, "Where were you when we were fighting for this?" And again, Mission Pro put out a video where the Men's Revolution were backstage, and then Jasmine shows up, and they talk about getting paid off. But then Jasmine didn't show up at this last show, so I don't know. There may be a title match coming in there. We got a couple weeks for that.
I mean, I assume they're setting something up at True Colors, which is coming soon, and potential. It could happen.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
What would you do if he becomes a 2-time champion, Tommy?
Cheer.
No. I will continue to support Mission Pro and all they do, even if it means she's the champion.
All right.
Because Holly Dead is now healthy, and soon she will come kill her, and I will be happy again.
All right. Well, that was Hybrid Mania. Now, they do have a show coming up. We just found out on May 27th, so it's not listed here with what is coming up locally. BOW is this weekend, May 6th, same night as Backlash, which we're going to talk about as well. RCW on May 21st. Hybrid on May 27th, and Mission Pro's next show is on June 10th. And I believe BOW announced that their next show is going to be July 7th?
Yeah, July 7th.
Yeah, okay, on Friday night?
Hold on.
Is that a Friday night show?
I should know this because I kind of work there, and I should know when I have that
Yep.
date. It's the 8th.
8th, okay, so that's Saturday night, the 8th, yeah. So
And I think this match has been announced. I think Barrett Brown announced it because he'll be at that show.
Yep. I was about to get into that. If you want to go ahead
Yeah,
and
go-
just mention it. Yeah.
You can. It's your show.
No, go for it. Just say it because you have it right in front of you, and you probably pronounce the guy's
Barrett
name
Brown
better than I do.
versus Yuya Imura from New Japan, who is doing his North American excursion at the moment. July 8th. BOW just confirmed it in the chat. See, I just have to double check, guys. I know.
And since you threw that out, since that match has already been announced, he's going to be there.
Thanks, BOW.
And we know recently she has returned to wrestling and seems to be doing really well.
Mhm.
If Angel Blue wants to come down, and honestly, any of these shows, Mission Pro is a mostly women's division.
Or
She can be there. Actually, RCW announced. I love your reaction to this, Tommy. They announced Delilah Doom. For RCW, as if she's like this old wrestler coming back for and Tommy was just like, wait, when Delilah Doom's a classic wrestler, like, how
what does
old
that
are we?
say? Yeah, it's like because like Matt Urkowski coming back to RCW. It's like I was like, it wasn't that long ago, was it? Wait, how old am I?
There was a picture. Who was it? It was Angel Blue, La Rosa Negra, and Holiday
Yeah.
from like some Texas show. And I was like, Tommy, you realize Angel Blue is
Oh no,
probably
wait,
the
it was
best-
Alejandra Leon, I believe.
Oh,
And
Alejandro, you're right.
Yeah.
With Angel Blue, and I was like,
And
I
Holiday,
realized Angel Blue's the vet in that picture.
Yeah.
And we were there pretty much when she started.
And then when Mike said that, I think another gray hair just popped up randomly. When he said, Angel Blue's the vet in that picture, I just looked at it and went, Jesus Christ. That is absolutely true.
I'm so proud of her knowing her personality.
No, seriously.
She's dealt with.
That's gonna be my woman in wearing. I'll touch on that later, of course.
Oh,
but
nice.
So
Hey, look, man. I think I know she's easing her way back into it. Whatever promotion wants to book her down here, I am game.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then back to Brandon Outlaw, Barrett Brown. Yes. Same thing.
For sure. Tommy, you want to give us a quick preview of what's going on this weekend with BOW?
Yes.
Before we jump into Backlash?
I do know a couple of talents can't make it, so unfortunately we won't be able to see Shane Taylor or James Claxton, sadly.
Oh.
But however, we're gonna have the Cruiserweight Championship El Rayo defending against Red Davis and Crowley. Fly Depth's defending the tag titles against DeMarcus Rashad and Omega. We got two newcomers to BOW. It's Jail and Harley Jane. I believe they're from Rose Wrestling Academy because they've been coming down a lot lately. Of course, El Rayo, being champion. Rodney Mack versus Remedy. As we remember him as Killer Cash. For those of you old school ones like us, apparently.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, that's Killer Cash.
Good God.
See? Now that's how I felt when you said the Angel Blue thing.
Priceless.
See?
Wow. So what you're telling me is big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
In that one, because I remember Killer Cash.
Yeah.
Probably when he was younger and starting out, but Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I remember getting under his skin so many times too. That was fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think he's still mad at me for some of the shit I said, which makes sense.
Tommy, be more specific. That's half the text.
I know. That's why I said makes sense. Three-way tag team match, which I don't want to film because I want to be running all over the damn ring for this one. But okay, freaking.
Think of it as a free workout, dude.
I get that at HEB.
Okay, because you're supplementing, So yeah.
Shut up, JC. Anyway, it's Drew Dredd and Steve Michaels. Steve Michaels, by the way, big dude from Chicago. Very, very. He's a great big guy wrestler. If you guys haven't seen him before, I highly recommend him. He's really, really good. Against Chase Owens and Boss Baines because Boss Baines needs to do something.
So does he at least stay consistent in the multiverse? Is he just a jerk and a douchebag?
Yes, he's a jackass everywhere. Yes.
Excellent.
Against Corvus and Ricky Ramirez of End of the World Party. By the way, happy belated birthday to Ricky. His birthday just passed the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I gotta be honest, this one I'm personally looking forward to. The Money Birds of Gigi Ray and Lady Bird Monroe against Danny B and Anarchy Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Good.
And we have a special match. Hit versus a mystery opponent. I cannot wait to see because even I don't know, and I work there.
Tommy, take your wrestling boot. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
So basically,
only if it was Lance Archer versus a mystery opponent, and then Clint said, "Give me your camera." Why? Get in the ring. I will not do any such thing.
so
Mike,
they don't
get the
pull you
car.
in. They don't pull you in. I guess they're giving you the Tom Holland treatment. Basically, is that what's going on here? So,
Yeah, they don't trust me,
Yeah.
and I can't say I blame them. And lastly, is the main event of Vic Endurance challenging for the BLW Heavyweight Championship against Savage King. This has been building up for a while because Vic's been really racking up some wins. But currently, Savage King is still undefeated in BLW. He's been blowing past everybody. So, an undefeated streak is going to get broken in this match. So we'll see who's. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a good show.
all right. It will be. It's Saturday, May 6th at the Woodlawn Gym. That's 1103 Cincinnati Avenue. Doors opening at 6 and the first bell's at 7 p.m. Front row tickets are $25 and every other seat in the house is $20.
Yep.
So definitely check it out. And great wrestling promotion. Independent wrestling is just so much fun in Texas, especially in San Antonio. So
Absolutely.
It is. And I tweeted that out earlier today. Like, the local scene has just been, like, we just had show after show after show after show after show. And there's even some we've missed. There was the PWE one. There was that United 210 show that is in some person's backyard that's apparently a legit place. I saw clips from it this past week, so it's a
bring your
thing.
bug spray because mosquitoes are a bitch right now after all the rain we got. So
I kind of laughed when I saw that. I was like, "Oh man, I could have had shows in my backyard." Wait, no, my mom would never have gone for that. Never mind. Hold on. Never mind.
The weather we're getting, at least make sure your backyard has a retractable roof because goddamn, it's So,
Or like Florida, where they're all within the mesh big areas in the back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's move in now to WWE Backlash. Thankfully, no longer known as WrestleMania Backlash. To say it once just to get their reaction. This, like we mentioned from the top of the show, has been built up so incredibly well, especially with the Bad Bunny Damian Priest. Their first foray into Puerto Rico in forever, I think, or a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Real quick, someone said that should be the main event, and I have no reason to disagree with them whatsoever.
There's a very good chance it will be
I was
because
I think it might be.
you saw the crowd at the press conference. You heard their reaction. Hell, SmackDown tonight too when they showed up.
No.
Who the fuck wants to follow? I mean, fuck. Roman Reigns couldn't follow Bad Bunny, and that's probably why
not in Puerto Rico.
No, so
no. Well, okay. You know what? And again, we've said this before. We've said this before about shut up, Mike. We've said this before about Bad Bunny. He comes with a built-in fan base because of his music, whether you're aware of him or not. And if you're not, it's whatever. It's like his music is just what's hot right now. But he is one of the most popular artists going right now, and good for him. He's practically a king there. Again, why not? He's that popular. He brings so much attention to the country. He's so proud of his heritage. And all this, I'm saying all this, by the way, just good for him. Absolutely. Do all that shit, bro. I ain't mad at you. Yeah. Make your money. Make your people proud. Do the damn thing. So, and I feel like this is like one of the best. I feel like this is one of the perfect scenarios. Like when Damian Priest joined Judgment Day and getting this, I feel like that was like this perfect storm of things because now it feels like, he betrayed Bad Bunny, and Damian Priest is like, I'm better than you anyway. And I just feel like this is gonna be a great match. I feel like it's gonna be a great match either way because like I said a million times, I'm done with God son of a bitch.
There it is.
What's up, Casey? Glad to see you, buddy. Oh, I shared that picture too. I got a picture of Casey, like you don't see Tommy, but you just see Casey yelling right in someone's face because it was Tommy. He was standing right next to me.
Good to have you on the show, Casey. Thanks for checking us out. So, yeah.
I'm done talking.
Anyway, Bad Bunny. Yeah, great. Okay, yeah. So this is
jackass.
We're gonna get in right now into making our predictions for Backlash. And again, if you're watching us live or even seeing us after the fact, please share your predictions as well in the chat. Let's see how well you do. Let's see how well we stack up because this is the first big pay-per-view after the draft. Everything they built up along this and see where they go from here. We'll start with Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. While Tommy sits there pissed off, Mike, go ahead and give us your thoughts on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's good stuff. I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar in this one. Maybe like a DQ or some sort of no contest. But it seems now that they want the story to be Cody
Shut
has
up,
to earn
Ted.
it. That Cody has to earn this more and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
you're not going to earn it by beating Brock the first time after you just start the feud. We saw what happened with Cena, with pretty much anybody who does eventually beat Brock. The first one's a squash match. So it's either going to be that. It's either going to be a review of Cena, what was that, 2012, 14, whatever.
Whatever the once in a lifetime was, and that's why I'm also picking Brock. This is kind of parallel it, right? Like Cena lost to Rock, lost to Lesnar immediately at Backlash. I think they rematched at SummerSlam, even though he still lost, but he eventually built his way back up.
But for what it's worth, they Superman Cody a lot since like over WrestleMania. Like I know we talked about his loss and how much it was we didn't expect it, but he went through a lot of Roman Reigns finishers before getting to the end, and he kicked out and was like looking strong. He didn't, or I think he got stretchered out and took off the stretcher when Brock turned on him on that Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
they are Homelandering this Cody pretty. I think it's only appropriate now that I thought about it to not say they're Supermaning him, but they're Homelandering him.
I'm still taking Lesnar regardless of that. I don't know if he's going to be all Homelandered on that. So yeah, Tommy, what about you on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cody only because
Right.
I don't know. Brock doesn't need it, so I'm just gonna.
No,
go
he
Cody.
doesn't.
All right, and now the match that Vince McMahon broke: Seth Rollins versus Osmosis. Because if Osmosis isn't a match, Vince McMahon probably booked it. Tommy, where are you going with this one?
Seth Rollins, man. I don't. I mean, and nothing against Omos. I really don't have anything. I just don't know why this is happening. So
Anyone not taking Seth Rollins on this one?
No, because as far as I'm concerned, Seth needs to be the next
World Heavyweight
the
Champion.
one who wins. Yeah, whatever that's called. I don't know. The big. he needs to win the big gold W. So
Yeah.
The big gold W.
So
That's
like
a great name.
how if you go to WWE.com, their replica belts are like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
Their new one looks like they got it off like someone on eBay who makes them themselves, and they just make them different enough just so they don't get copyrighted or whatever. That's what it kind of looks like. But
Like literally every incarnation of the original big gold belt.
Exactly.
Next, Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn taking on the Bloodline in a six-man tag team match. Man, this one is kind of split for me a bit, and only because I think the draft is interesting. Like the Usos kind of got their last shot at Owens and Zayn for the tag titles.
Yep.
But I really feel like they're going to really build on this, the Bloodline, especially the Usos being on Roman Reigns' shit list because they don't have any gold right now. And I really think that this is going to kind of add salt to the wound a bit. So I'm going to go with Riddle, Owens, and Zayn. Because to kind of really add on to that, really just kind of bring down the rest of the Bloodline and really kind of build that as a storyline going into the future of SmackDown there. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go different for you, but in a similar vein for the storyline. I'm going to go with the Bloodline, but specifically in my head, Solo is going to pin Riddle, and it's going to be made to look like Solo saved the Usos, and that's the way Roman Reigns is going to play it. So the Usos, in their mind, get a little bit of redemption because their team wins, but Roman's going to play it out because Solo's going to get the victory and make it look like Solo had to save them for that team to win and continue the animosity that's starting to grow between them.
You think there's a good chance this match opens the show?
No, only because if we're going to do Bad Bunny, Damian Priest at the main event, Lesnar probably has to go first with Cody, right?
He's kind of backed off that a bit since he's not in the title picture.
Did he though?
know?
Because he first match of the night on WrestleMania Night 2 with
Oh
Osmosis.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. So it could, but
Mhm.
I feel like Brock is still in that. So maybe I don't know. I think that's going to start with Cody and Brock.
All right. What about you, Tommy?
I'm going Riddle, Zayn, and Owens. Only because both of you I feel like have good points, but I feel like it's like Solo could win, and in my head I see it playing out like Solo's about to win. The Usos are holding back Zayn and Owens, but like Zayn breaks through and pushes the pin off, and they isolate, for the sake of it, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pin Jay, and Solo is like what happened, blah blah blah, and I see
Jason's there with me.
Yeah.
But that's what I see happening. I feel like this is the start that really is the bloodline like breaking up in that way. So that's what I think.
Okay. All right. I know I have the Street Fight listed next on our agenda, but I'm going to put that at the end because I want to talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
United States Championship, Austin Theory defending in a triple threat match against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Mike, you got two big men slapping meat and Austin Theory in this one. So what you got here?
You're not wrong. 100% right. I'm going to go with my heart pick that I think is probably going to be wrong, but I got to do it. I want Bronson Reed to win this title.
Right.
With a big tsunami in Puerto Rico. A safe one for the fans.
Yeah.
So,
Sami?
I'm wrong, but Bobby Lashley, I don't care. Just I make this pick 100% acknowledging I am wrong on this one, but I'm picking Bobby
the same
Lashley.
way, but
Yeah, I've got Austin Theory leaving the fans.
There you go.
Off. That's it.
All right, congrats on winning this one, JC.
It's becoming a
just
trend on
cares about
triple threat
touching it.
matches. That's becoming a trend on triple threat matches this year, isn't it?
It is
the
really
ones that
cool.
are like this, yeah.
Yeah. SmackDown Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley defending against Zelina Vega. I'm curious to know if A, Dominic's going to be there, and B, how long is this match going to get delayed because he's getting booed if he tries to jump on the mic.
Yeah, dude.
The heat he's got Vicky Guerrero heat. Which is great.
The heat is real, bro.
Yeah.
It's so real.
So, all right, Tommy, Ripley or Vega, who you got? Well, I think we can all say. I think we're all going to go Ripley, right? I mean, I would hate for her to lose, but this is going to be tough.
That's what I say. I actually, that's the thing. I think honestly, I'm gonna go Vega. I'm serious. I really think that might happen. Again, I'm always surprised if I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong because they're great. Both of them are great. I just feel like it could be Vega. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But whatever. So yeah.
So an interesting little side note that kind of connects to this and your potential pick. The Judgment Day is going to Raw, as I remember correctly, and the LWO with Rey Mysterio is going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
The champions, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, were switching shows.
Correct.
Because Rhea SmackDown, and people are like, we don't want to see another belt swap.
Well, because the last one went so horribly.
So the only thing that throws it in between the two matches is if Zelina won, she would keep it on SmackDown. But if Io won the other one, Damage Control is going to SmackDown as well. So that would throw things off. But I've also heard people talk, maybe it's about time to just name them the same thing as your men's title. Instead of a Raw and SmackDown title, have a Universal Women's Champion and a World Heavyweight or World Women's Champion.
Or just a
whatever.
WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah, like that. And then you don't have to worry because people are also saying like, well, not for Ripley. I guess it would be for Bianca on the next match. She's had this historic Raw title reign. If she has to go to SmackDown, is she not technically? Does that end because it's not Raw? I think you should rename them and then say her reign continues.
And it sucks because they only do this with the women. This is what the shitty part of it is.
Yeah.
It does suck like that. Yeah.
So now would be a perfect time to fix that while we're here.
Yeah.
And they also like. So I think even Booker T said this recently. They need a second tier women's championship belt. They really do for both shows.
No, they don't, because we see how that shit's going with Jade Cargill, and I'm tired of that shit. You know,
It wouldn't be exactly the same.
I hope not.
Look,
But
I believe WWE would give it to someone and then have actual people earn chances and not just pick random people that you said had matches on Dark and stuff, but we hadn't seen on actual Dynamite or Rampage in like months. You're like, oh, here's the next challenger. You think she could win, right? But anyways, I am going with Rhea Ripley. But another one of these caveats I want to throw in, I think Zelina Vega is going to get a visual pin, maybe with some Dom interference or just a complete ref bump.
a knocked out referee.
I think she's going to get the thing to like, oh, she should have won this in Puerto Rico, but Rhea's going to keep it in the end.
Fair enough. I can see that.
A little bit of
or like a DQ finish.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah, I'm going with Rhea Ripley on that as well too.
Okay.
For all we know, this could turn into an all-out, Judgment Day LWO brawl as well. So.
I hope so.
Yeah. Raw Women's Championship.
If it doesn't, why are we watching the show? No kidding.
Yeah. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Mike, what do you got?
See, there's a little part of me that wouldn't mind seeing Io win because of the storyline that creates in Damage Control with Bayley.
Yeah.
Where Bayley's considered herself the leader. Io's in this all because her and Dakota got tired of Bayley taking the champion, the title matches, and so what was it after WrestleMania? Bayley had gotten herself into a number one contenders match, and then they complained, so she got Io in and she won. All that being said, though, I think Bianca's going to keep the belt.
Yeah, I am too, because WWE apparently has a problem putting Asian people as champions, and this will be second pay-per-view in a row. Bianca Belair is going to go over an Asian challenger. This is the Japanese one at that too. So I've got Bianca Belair winning this one as well.
About that.
Yeah, Tommy.
Something vexes thee.
Great
That was
movie.
one of my favorite lines.
Great movie, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that guy goes on to be Snape, which is great. Yeah.
Why a spoon, cousin?
Yeah. 'Cause it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
Sorry, Tommy, go for it.
I'll go Bianca.
If you're in the chat, name the movie. Go. Yeah. Bianca.
All
right.
Is Terry still in here? I know Terry knows it.
Come on.
I don't know if he's still awake or not.
All right, he's going Bianca, so it's a clean sweep on Bianca Belair there. And then finally, a San Juan street fight. Bad Bunny against Damian Priest. Now, I have to kind of preface this by saying on Wednesday, because my daughter's softball team practices actually at a field in Mike's neighborhood. So Mike met me over there to give me the house key. He met my daughter's coach, and we were talking about, his coach was asking us about this show, how we put together and everything. And then mentioning that Bad Bunny's on the show. He's like, he wrestles? I go, yeah, he's pretty good. So there's a little bit of interest there, between Bad Bunny and the Canelo fight. What the hell are we going to be watching, So there's a little bit of intrigue. Yeah, we talked about the casual fan being a part of this, and now you got Bad Bunny, first time in a singles match on his own. I don't know if you can really count the Royal Rumble in that, because that's kind of everything.
Yeah, I never count the Royal Rumble as a singles match, win or lose. I never do. It's like, to me, it's not traditional enough.
So here we go. Street fight, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. I'm going to go out and pick this one first. If you do not have Bad Bunny win in his home country of Puerto Rico, you want to talk about if Cena wins, we riot signs. If Bad Bunny loses, Jesus, hell's going to break loose in Puerto Rico.
They would have to, first of all, you also got Dom on his team. I don't know if he'll be out there, but you already got Dom with him. They would need to helicopter them out like, like them getting the last workers out of, what was it, Beirut or whatever, when they had they overran the U.S. Embassy. Like, they have to helicopter them out of there.
Bad Bunny for me. Mike, I assume Bad Bunny for you too. So,
Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought he said Mike.
I said Mike, yeah.
No, he said me. Yeah. He said he assumed me and...
Anyways,
we're all Bad Bunny.
We're all Bad Bunny.
We're all Bad Bunny, of course. For the safety of everyone involved.
Any idea what the craziest spot in this match would potentially be?
Elbow drop to the announce table.
Yeah. Or a San Juan destroyer through a table.
That
Can't
ooh,
call it Canadian anymore. It's got to be a San Juan destroyer.
Puerto Rican destroyer. Yeah, that would be
that'll
pretty
work too.
badass. So I could see that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, also making it the street fight makes it. He doesn't have to worry. I mean, we saw he can do moves and he's fine, but they just brawl around, use things, do big spots.
I'm curious how creative they're gonna get. That's my biggest thing. I don't think they'll fight through the crowd because it is in Puerto Rico and they just get freaking mauled. But that crowd's gonna be all for this. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So
And I saw this brought up earlier in the week too. This was originally the rumor was going to be a tag match, like Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio versus Dom or Finn with
Damian Priest.
I was going to call him Punishment again with Damian Priest, but they clearly trust Bad Bunny enough that he showed, and also they trust Damian Priest to get him through and have this. So I think that's pretty cool, and you keep saying it over and over. I mean, he's like a god in Puerto Rico basically right now.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
So yeah, the crowd's going to be on fire the whole match. They're going to be standing, chanting, cheering. Oh God.
What?
Oh Lord, Ted in the chat.
Oh boy. Now you're starting shit, bro.
Wow.
Just when we thought that family had left us alone.
Please, dear God, no.
They got to take that
Never.
Yeah.
But okay, I really do think this is a case where you get two guys who are working together who know each other pretty well because of all the training they did for the tag match before. And it's like we say all the time in wrestling. The people who work the best together are best friends. The people who work against each other the best are best friends. There's a reason why I will watch Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens tag or fight each other. I legitimately do not care what side of the ring they're both on, as long as they're both in the match, I'm in. So it's the same. Yeah, it's the same with these two. It's like and look, I would not be surprised. I would legitimately not be surprised if this somehow turns into like a potential 5-star classic. Will it be? I don't know. But could it be? I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't.
Sure.
So side question real quick. When do we get the triple threat Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, Pat McAfee?
I say SummerSlam just to kind of round out the summer.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
I can see that sometime too. Ted, we'll answer your question in just a second. I promise you we will. So, all right. Backlash this Saturday, May 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Pre-show starting around 6 o'clock. It is going to be at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and of course will be on Peacock here in the United States. WWE Network internationally, except where they have special deals in place to broadcast.
Thank God you read that and we didn't have to.
Well, you handle the Japanese stuff. I'll work on the Spanish part.
I wrote it way back when we made the announcement, but or they made it.
Yeah. So looking forward to it, and this is honestly, this could be a trend where some of these summertime pay-per-views we'll start seeing more of them go international.
Why wouldn't they? Like, you saw the success, like you said, they had with Clash of the Castle. This is obviously going to be huge.
Yep.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, and this kind of opens. I mean, with the brand split, we could be seeing more and more pay-per-views again. Who knows if they decide to do brand exclusive ones again?
That does. We don't need any of that, man.
We'll see. Yeah.
No way, man.
Yep. All right. Before we get into 1 minute warning, Mike did pose a question here. World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry, Ted. Excuse me. World Heavyweight Championship tourney predictions.
Seth Rollins.
Someone said Seth Rollins earlier. Yeah,
that's what
I think I did because the almost match.
Well, then I concur.
Yeah.
So for me, Seth Rollins.
For me, Seth Rollins as well. It makes the most sense right now. I'm just curious to see who they put in the tournament final at Night of Champions against him for that. So
supposedly, there's going to be both Raw and SmackDown, even with them switching brands, is a part of the tournament. Hey.
Hey, interesting question. What is up, ankle break AJ to who sent her? Okay,
There actually are.
Yeah, Wrestling Shop and Collectibles. That's what's the one? Is that the one in Rolling Oaks or is it the one in
This
Crossroads?
one, Rolling Oaks.
Oh, this one in Rolling Oaks. Okay.
One of the Crossroads just opened. I can't remember the name of it. Rundleland of the Americas which is on 410 near 410 in Fredericksburg. You can try there. Rolling Oaks Mall.
Which is out by 1604 and Nacogdoches.
And, Nacogdoches.
And then also, I think, what's the one over here off 151? The big pulga.
Traders Village.
Yeah, and I think they have
That's
some.
off 410 in a.
No, yeah, but I think in if I remember, they have some of those little stores in there. I don't know if they have a big selection. But they have some in there that have.
There is one there. There's a vendor in there that sells them. That's in Traders Village off of 410 at Old Pearsall Road. I forget where exactly in Traders Village it is, but yeah, it's a guy that sets up shop and he has a whole bunch of stuff, wrestling wise. But yeah, there's a ton in town.
Also, if you just kind of say on various San Antonio like marketplace sites, I'm looking to buy wrestling goods, T-shirts, and figures. You will get a response because just because they don't have stores doesn't mean that there are folks in town who don't have them. They're all over the place. Yeah. Matter of fact, some of them, I don't know, they won't be at BOW that I know of yet, but I know a couple guys come to most RCW shows selling that kind of stuff. So, on the May 21st show, you might want to pop in and just see who shows up because.
And welcome to San Antonio and
welcome
glad you enjoy wrestling. We are doing really well right now with wrestling, so enjoy.
Yep, and again, we mentioned BOW is in town this Saturday. Of course, there's Backlash. We have other events coming up too as well with RCW, another hybrid show, Mission Pro Wrestling as well. So, welcome to SA. Hope you enjoy it and get ready for that. I don't know where you came from, but just get ready for the summer. It's gonna get hot. So
hope to see you out. Hope to see you out tomorrow.
And if the restaurant has the words Jalisco and a number in it, really good Mexican food.
Yes. Not Taco Bell. Piece
of
shit. Yep.
No, that's what you'll be doing for many hours afterwards.
Yeah. All right, time for our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
Do I have something?
Do you?
You know what? I don't right now. There's so much been going on, but I'm good.
All right, Tommy, you mentioned you probably do, so you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, set and go.
Well, most of mine is just all Japan news. The biggest news being, some of the biggest news in Pro Wrestling Noah, Jake Lee successfully defended the GHC Heavyweight Championship against Naomichi Marufuji, and he's really talking about bringing Noah back to the prominence it had like back in the early 2000s. He's kind of wanted to lead the charge. Also, a tag team reformed of Go Shiozaki and Katsuhiko Nakajima and Axis. They broke up about 2 years ago, so it's a big deal in that regard. Mm-hmm. In New Japan news, and Okada actually won a title that wasn't the world belt because him, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi won the never openweight six-man belts. Shocked the hell out of me because I didn't know Okada was capable of winning anything else except for that belt. Also, David Finlay won the never openweight championship. Hikuleo, Tama Tonga's younger brother, won the never openweight strong championship. And Sonata, while defeating Hiromu Takahashi, was challenged by the returning Yota Tsuji. I think I said his name wrong. Damn it. Who's come back from excursion? But Shota Umino made a challenge to Okada and the others with Jon Moxley. They haven't said who their third will be yet, but Jon Moxley is planning to come back. And lastly, their New Japan is having a show called Resurgence. That's New Japan Strong, and they're going to crown their first strong women's champion. And
that's right. I did see that announcement.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné is in that match
with Willow Nightingale, someone from CMLL.
Yes, Stephanie Backer and Momo Kago, who's from Stardom. Also, Stardom had a really good show called All Star Grand Queendom. I could go into a whole thing about that. I might do a video about that later, actually, on my channel. So be on the lookout for that. But this is really big news. New Japan, All Japan, and Noah used to do these shows called All Together. It was kind of like benefit shows and everything. And of course, and they haven't done them in years, not just because of the pandemic, but just because of business and companies and everything. But They announced that their first one in years is going to be on June the 9th this year. It's called New Japan, All Japan, and Noah all together again. And it's going to be in their Ryogoku. So June 9th. It's a big deal because to get all these stars in one place again. It's usually mostly tag team matches. They very seldom ever have one-on-one matches for obvious reasons. But it's just a great show. It brings all of Japan together, and whenever they put these shows on, they're usually a really great watch just to see the talent, just to get to interact, because most of these guys are friends backstage. They know each other, so they just have fun. So.
So, Tommy, real quick, what's the WWE equivalent of that trios champion? Is that like Cena, Randy Orton, and
it would be
Show, or
no? It would be Cena, Randy Orton, and in my opinion, Mick Foley. Because Ishii and Foley are legitimately almost the same. The only difference is the only reason Ishii never fell off of the Hell in a Cell is because they don't have one in New Japan.
Because he didn't have a chance.
Yeah. If they ever had a Hell in a Cell match, Ishii would be like, I'm falling off of that. Ishii, you're 45. I'm falling off of that.
Also, Jason saying the third to challenge him is going to be Wheeler Yuta, which I love.
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed that.
I don't know if it's official or not, but that would be great.
That would be great.
Bryan Danielson, but any member of Blackpool Combat.
I mean, but Mike, think if they lose this match, we could get Moxley, Danielson, and Claudio challenging for those. Yeah,
they're just beating people up, and I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Second warning.
Yeah, I want to take a minute to again congratulate Angel Blue. We interviewed her. It feels like so long ago, and it was a couple years ago. When all the pandemic shit was going on, and it was one of those. Never say never in wrestling. Coming off of neck surgery, everything else she was dealing with, and to see her progress over the last year, being sober, taking care of herself, getting into CrossFit, and now she's back in a wrestling ring, especially after a very serious neck surgery not too long ago. As I mentioned before on the show, Angel Blue, Tina and I have been very close to her, just really looking out for her with everything she's been going through, and I'm just very happy for her. I'm not surprised that she made it back to the wrestling ring, because that's always where I think she loves to be, where she loves to belong, and it warms my heart to see her out there yelling at fans, doing the pose, pushing her muscle up like she does or to the camera, and being herself. And it's like she never lost a step, really. And it is crazy to think of her as the seasoned vet, and it's been that long that we've seen her in the ring. It's hard to believe. I want to say the first time we saw her wrestle in AECW, before she got a cease and desist on a name change.
I was about to bring that up.
That was maybe her third or fourth match.
Yeah.
And she was 17 years old.
Well,
insane.
Well, think about this. Well, think about this. As we started down this train of feeling old, let's just think about this. We have seen Angel Blue is now a veteran.
Yeah.
Athena is now was like a world traveled vet at this point, to the point where there are people who Willow Nightingale who say she inspired me, or people I'm just like, what the hell? What world am I living in? I mean, I mean, whether we like him or not, Sammy Guevara is about to be in the main event of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
How many different? Remember when he had too much metal? And then he was the gutter snake. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, and now think about, and now even him, he's like, oh man, I want a match with Izzy James. It's like, he used to be the opener of the card. He used to be the dark match. That was the main event everywhere. Well deserved. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying we're old.
Yeah, that's the key here.
We are, but hey.
But that being said, I'm super happy for Angel Blue, and I'm so proud of her.
Congrats. I hope, again, like we mentioned off the top of the show, I'm hoping some companies here are able to book you again, get you in shows. We'd love to see you wrestle in San Antonio, and would love to, at some point, I'll have you back on the show, a follow-up interview, to see how things are going. And I'm just so happy and proud of you and excited to see where your career is going. And you just enjoy it. Just enjoy it,
Funny story, the first time Guy and Alana ever went to a show that was ACW and Angel Blue was there, and I forgot for 5 seconds they were even with me because I saw Angel Blue and it was just business as usual. And I turned around like, oh yeah, you two are still here. That's right. Gotta remember that.
Now, Mike, before I follow this off, Mike, I just want to quickly say this was Teacher Appreciation Week. I know you and Tina have got a lot of stuff like that. And unfortunately, my life got really busy because I was really going to try and work on a special poster for you for Teacher Appreciation Week. But with everything going on, I may not get it until before next school year. But
It's cool. Don't worry about it because, the state does it right in the middle of star testing because they appreciate us that much.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Right. And that being said, yes. I mentioned it earlier when we talked about Sacrifice. This past Monday was the actual 15th anniversary of the Steiner Math promo.
Yes.
And so I'm working on trying to put together a badass poster for you to hang up in your classroom next year. And the hope that one day Steiner Math will appear in math textbooks and, be taught.
Look, I certified it on a tweet. The math is legit. Like the arithmetic of it. Where he pulls the numbers up and the percentages he makes, or like how he gets to them, I don't know what he got, but the actual arithmetic of the numbers he says, it works.
Oh, Jason brought up a good
Jason
point.
called it out. Yes, Trinity debuted on Impact Wrestling. Finally back on TV.
And just straight up said, I want the winner of Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordan Grace.
But did you hear what her and Deonna Purrazzo said to each other?
No.
I did not hear that.
Okay, real quick. Deonna said, when you get in the ring with me, you can't just walk away. But wait. Trinity said, oh, we cutting like that, huh? She said, well, when you get in the ring with me, you're going to wish you got fired again. And I said, yo, what are we doing right now?
What is this, an AEW show?
The cuffs are off, man. Trinity's not bound by writers and shit.
Mike, no, it was a Mission Pro show. It got Mission Personal real quick.
Whoa! They slapped each other?
No, they cut pretty deep.
No, it's only Mission Personal because they beat the crap out of each other.
Well, let's wait till they have the match.
Yeah. Go ahead, that get so. Thank you everybody
or you're talking to Casey or Jasmine, but.
Thank you, everyone, for checking out the WrestleCast this week, sticking us to the whole hour and a half. Once again, Backlash is this Saturday, May 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock. And I need to share my screen again to get this up as well. In addition to that, here we go. BOW is also on May 6th at the Woodlawn Gym here in town. Check it out at 1103 Cincinnati Avenue.
I think I'm going to try and go check that out tomorrow so I can bug Tommy while he's trying to film, especially during the three-way tag match.
Yeah,
dude, I'm
that
gonna
should
be
be
so
fun.
tired. I hope that's before. I hope that's right before intermission.
Better hope there's another Roman camera
Tommy,
for that one.
maybe
too,
you should ask the BOW management for a snack break in the middle.
There you go.
That's actually not the worst idea I've ever heard. Actually.
Thank you everyone for joining us live on the event. Once again, I didn't even edit this. Next week we'll recap WWE Backlash. There, see, I edited it. There, boom, pop it up. Yeah, we'll recap Backlash, see how it went. We'll talk about BOW and discuss what's next on the horizon. What other wrestling news pops up because there seems to be so much of it nowadays as well. So
yeah, it's like everyone's trying to make up for the pandemic.
Yep. Once again, over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky.
Boom.
Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Adios, Gunther.